I want to welcome everyone to this special occasion of honoring a trailblazing leader at our Health Science Center, Dr. Sandra Roerig. I want to offer a special welcome to Dr. Roerig's friends and family who are here with us today. Today is a day to reflect and acknowledge the impact that Dr. Roerig has made on our Health Sciences Center over the past nearly 3 decades. She has been a pillar of this institution and will long be remembered for her unwavering ethics and her student-focused decision-making. Sandy received her BS in horticulture at Kansas State University and her master's and PhD in pharmacology at the Medical College of Wisconsin and her postdoctoral fellowship at the University of Minnesota. I won't hold any of that against you, Sandy. Upon completion of her fellowship, she joined the LSU Health Science Center faculty in 1991 as an assistant professor in the Department of Pharmacology and Therapeutics. She rose through the ranks to become a professor both in pharmacology and in anesthesia. In 2001, Dr. Roerig became very involved and more involved in teaching and served as course director for numerous classes in the School of Graduate Studies. She became dean of the School of Graduate Studies shortly thereafter. During the research aspect of Dr. Roerig's career, she garnered over $2.3 million in grants from the National Institute on Drug Abuse, National Institute of Child Health and Development, the American Cancer Society, Edward Stiles Trust Fund, the Louisiana Education Quality Support Fund, and many others. Dr. Roerig is a member of many national organizations. The American Society for Pharmacology and Experimental Therapeutics, the American Society for the Advancement of Science, the Society of Neuroscience, a fellow in the American College of Clinical Pharmacology, and the International Narcotics Research Council, and many others. How can I describe Sandy? Well, integrity, you're hiding, Sandy. Integrity, optimism, a caring demeanor, and sometimes she can be a little stubborn. I think maybe Dennis kind of wore off on her a little bit. I can add another descriptive word to this list after watching Sandy negotiate a recent illness, and that word is tenacious. It is with resolute tenacity and determination that her colleagues observed Sandy fulfill her duties at LSU, all while battling and conquering a tough illness. There is no doubt that watching her grace under fire, further solidified the respect that she garners from her colleagues, students, and from me. Because of her immense love of students, we're now going to hear from 2 of her students. Merve, a senior student in the Department of Pharmacology. Did I pronounced it right? Good. And William, a recent graduate and postdoctoral fellow in microbiology. Merve, you're first.
Thank you, Dr. Colley. Hello, everyone. I would like to share a personal story with you. Almost 5 years ago, I packed my life into 2 suitcases and moved to Shreveport, where I knew nobody. In fact, I had never been in the US before. And when we start our program, there's this introductory course where faculty members talk about their research. My classmate and I met at Dr. Roerig's office, and that was the first time I met her in person. She was so warm and welcoming and asked us how we were doing and how was the program and how stuff was and so on. Since it was my 2nd week in a foreign country, I said, I'm trying to figure things out. When it was my friend Sarah's time, she said, I'm doing much better than her since she's sleeping on the floor. So I can't complain. And Dr. Roerig was a little puzzled, and she looked at me and said, you're sleeping on the floor? I said, yeah, I don't have any furniture in my house. As a background story here, the air mattress that I got deflated on my first night that I arrived. So it was, but I was worried about my first upcoming test and my sleeping situation, so this was not even an issue to me. And she looked at me and said, I can solve that problem. And the next day, she actually called Daryl right there, our business manager. He has a truck. And the next day, I know that I was sleeping on a comfy bed. Not only she brought me a bed frame and a mattress, she even thought about the sheets. And this was not the only time she went above and beyond. The other time that she went out of her way to help me was to get a state ID. She took me to DMV, that you know, and stayed with me the entire afternoon. So if it wasn't her, I would not have an ID, and I am not joking. And I don't think these things are in a job description of being a dean or a professor. This was the story of how I gained more than a mentor or a teacher. This is the story of how I gained a friend. Among the many, many things I learned from her, there's one important thing that I would like to apply to my own life from this point forward. Empowered woman will empower women. Thank you for everything you've done for us. I am eternally grateful for your presence. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'd like to begin by thanking the organizing committee for giving me this opportunity to speak today. I've known Dr. Roerig for the past 6 years, and one thing that I can describe about Dr. Roerig is that she puts the students first. Every time that I walk into our office, if I had a question or something that I wanted done, she will set aside whatever she was doing and give me full attention. And I will ask questions and she will give me the answers. It was not always the answer that I wanted, but she was very honest and candid. And she really cared about the students, and that was seen in the number of speakers that she was able to invite to come and speak to the students during the graduate research day. I mean, we got people from academia and also from industry, and they were able to talk to us about opportunities that are available either in academia or outside academia. And what was interesting about that is that every time she'll go to a meeting, she'll see these speakers and she'll say, I met somebody who was really, really nice, and I hope he or she will come to speak to our students. So that shows how much she really cared about the students. So not only is Dr. Roerig an outstanding leader and a great person, but she's also a loving and caring person. Right when I graduated, I had some visa issues in that I was not able to start working as a postdoc. So I had to be out of work for 6 months, for 3 months. And she offered to take me into her house together with my family, which was really great of her. That shows that she really cares about students in this institution and also outside what we do. When you were sick, Dr. Roerig, we saw you battle the disease, and we were able to come together as a church family, and we prayed for you, and we were happy to see you recover, and we're still praying for you that you continue to, in good health and in strength. I know you like to travel the world, and as you go to retire, I'll encourage you to visit Africa, to go and see the animals. Don't go for trophy hunting, that may not come Just, visit and enjoy. As Garrison Killer always says, be well, do good work, and keep in touch. God bless you.
Thank you, Margaret and William. Sandy, take a look at how many folks are in here. I'm certainly glad the fire marshal is not here, because we would be in trouble. I would like to now ask Nick Goeders to come up, professor and chair of pharmacology, and make some comments.
Wow, look at all the people. I'm really happy to be here today. I've known Sandy probably 27 years because she was recruited into the Department of Pharmacology, and I've known her ever since she started there. Sandy is a pharmacologist. A lot of you know her from her work as the Associate Dean for Research or the Dean of the Graduate School, but Sandy's a pharmacologist, and she'll always be a pharmacologist. She trained with James Fujimoto when she was at Wisconsin. At Minnesota, she did her postdoc with Horace Lowe. Knew Horace Lowe. He is one of the preeminent pharmacologists in the world. She had some of the best training anyone could ever get, and she brought that knowledge here to Shreveport. And I know that a lot of times throughout the years, students thought, well, Dr. Roerig really asked some tough questions on the oral exams, because she would always be on the qualifying exam committee. And she had asked them about isobolograms and all of these really difficult questions in pharmacology. But I know Sandy. I spoke with Sandy, and she never did that trying to trip up a student. She never did that trying to make a student feel less than what they were. But what she wanted always was for the students to rise to their full potential, to be the best that they could be, and to go on and get the best job that they could get. I've learned so much from Sandy, and the two students that spoke here today are a tribute to how she felt about all of the students here. She wanted to pass on her knowledge and her education, especially in pharmacology, to these students, and she helped to keep the rest of us in the Department of Pharmacology in line, because sometimes we may not have wanted to ask the tough questions, but she would. She made sure that the students knew what they were supposed to know. But I also respect Sandy also for her integrity, her passion, and her honesty. And what better way to say it, but her temperament. I know that there have been times when I opposed her, when others have opposed her, and Sandy would never raise her voice. She often would sit by and let me tell her what I really thought, and she would sit there and then she would tell me what she thought in a much more reserved and polite manner. And many times she would convince me that she was right, but she has such integrity, such anyway. She started a number of very important courses that are not only in the Department of Pharmacology. She helped get our molecular pharmacology course started. She helped get the ethics course started. She's done so much that many of you are not even aware of. But she is a pharmacologist, and I had so much I want to say, but I'm just going to boil it down to this. I did have one more thing before I get to my final point. Sandy has kind of essentially retired. She's no longer serving any of the dean positions. However, Sandy knew that she had classes to teach in molecular pharmacology, so she has an office up on the 5th floor in pharmacology so that she can come in and teach the students, because she felt that this was her commitment, and retired or not, she was going to come in and teach. And in fact, Friday, I know she's given some oral exams in molecular pharmacology. So that again shows her integrity and tenacity. And LSU Health is going to miss Sandy, and especially pharmacology is going to miss Sandy, because she's put in 27 years. No matter what other hats she wore, her first hat was always as a pharmacologist. But I think above pharmacology, though, I'm going to miss her, and she's always kept me in line, and hopefully she'll stay in touch and keep me in line even after she retires. God bless you.
Thank you, Dr. Goeders. That was great. For more than a decade, at least from 2004 to 2017, Dr. Roerig served as Dean of the School of Graduate Studies. And of course, by the way, she has the distinction of being the first female dean at our Health Sciences Center. I don't want to think that she'll be the last. and I'm sure she won't be the last. I'd like to ask Dr. Kevel, Vice Chancellor of Research, to come forward and share some of the accomplishments and legacy of Dr. Roerig.
Thank you, Dr. Galley. It's truly a pleasure and honor and actually quite humbling to recognize and honor the wonderful career of Dr. Roerig today. It's hard to put into words, especially within a 5 to 10 minute period of time, everything an individual can contribute to both campus, the lives of many other individuals, but here's just a few. During her time here, as you heard earlier, she received numerous awards from NIH, from the drug abuse program, as well as pursuing and educating postdoctoral trainees. Not only was her passion the graduate students, but also the next generation, the postdocs. In fact, she was instrumental in facilitating the development of a postdoc association here on this campus. Around the turn of the millennia, really most of the universities across the nation began to realize, wait a minute, there's a whole other group of trainees we really left out. And Dr. Roerig already knew that. And she made sure that a lot of the postdocs here on campus really had that opportunity. In addition, she also provided service not only to NIH through peer review opportunities, but also served the USMLE, the United States Medical Licensing Exam Committee, and doing many of the things that Dr. Goeders just spoke about in terms of providing education and questionnaires for board exams. In addition to that, she served multiple leadership roles here in the state of Louisiana. One of the things that I was very impressed with coming back in 2002 to this campus, having had the fortunate privilege of seeing it before, was that this campus broke away and began to have its identity on its own. Dr. Roerig was an unsung hero for that, unabashedly, without a doubt. And in fact, it's quite a shame that the history of that separation, because believe you me, there was a stranglehold. And in fact, I think Dr. O'Callaghan may understand this better than most, on our campus by another campus. And really, Dr. Roerig provided leadership and guidance in conjunction with the Faculty Senate at that time to really help us as an institution chart a new course, which we've done and she helped guide to this day. In addition to that, on a local level, she also was involved in the Faculty Senate, as I mentioned a moment ago, the Research Council, the Graduate Advisory Council, the MD-PhD Committee, which she also helped spearhead and champion so that we could have MD-PhD programs here. The Administrative Council, Institutional Planning Committees, put together numerous, at least 2 different strategic planning events that I'm aware of and participated in. The Institutional Animal Care and Use Committee, Chancellor's Advisory Committee, Biomedical Research Foundation Board, and Clinical Research Committee. Truly, her impact on this campus was very large and has really provided a lot of what we have here today. So Sandy, from the bottom of my heart, and probably I think every other heart in this room, thank you very much, and we'll miss you terribly.
Thank you, Dr. Kevel. I would respectfully ask Dr. Roerig to come up and address the audience if she has any comments or anything she'd like to share.
Oh my God. There's standing. I didn't see everybody. Thank you all for coming. I really appreciate this. I told Chris that I didn't want to party. And finally, after 30 minutes, he convinced me that we should have one. And I said, I want something tiny, no speeches. Okay.
Oh, you're right.
But you know, all the people in this room have really helped me. And I want to recognize the people in this room. Because I couldn't be here because, you know, I'm one person, but we work together at this institution. And I wanted to just mention a few names. I have a list of names here, so I won't forget everybody. Nick Goeders is the first one I want to mention. He's always been my champion, always. He supported me no matter what. He's let me stay in an office in his department for as long as I want. He helped me get my gratis and emeritus position, hopefully. And so thank you so much, Nick. You are just, and you've shown great leadership for the department, and I really, really appreciate everything you've done for me. And Dr. O'Callaghan, are you here? I see you. Dr. O'Callaghan was the first one who told me that there might be something afoot. In 2000, or maybe 1999, we were wanted to separate from New Orleans. I remember the phone call. He called me one day about 5:30 and said, "Are you the chair of the faculty senate?" And I said, "Yes." He knew that, of course. And he said, there's a movement afoot for us to maybe get separated from the New Orleans campus. Maybe the Senate could do something about that. I said, okay. And so we did. And he was the one who stimulated that, got me started on that, and provided numerous advice to me, unsolicited sometimes, solicited sometimes. I've spent hours in his office talking about many things. And so thank you very much, Dennis. I really appreciated your guidance and mentorship over all these years. Neil Granchet, I don't think he's here today, he couldn't make it, but again, Neil was a great mentor for me. He helped train me get to the Associate Dean for Research position. I mentored with him for a year before I took that job over. And so he's been very instrumental in helping me. Kevin McCarthy, as now the chair of cell biology and anatomy, he's been my friend and confidant for a long time. And thank you for all your advice over the years and the fun times and fun conversations we've had. Also with Debbie. And thank you guys for being there for me in many ways. And Steve Witt, also, you're Steve, somewhere? Oh, there you are. The chair of biochemistry now. We've had lots of conversation, and he's helped me in many ways that I can't even describe. So I've always thought that he would be a good sounding board. We've had some interesting, sometimes difficult conversations, not between us, but about difficult subjects. And he's been always, strong and common sense about our solution. So thank you, Steve. Thank you a lot. So there are many other faculty that I want to mention, but I could go on and on about all the faculty that I've talked to and who've helped over the years. I want to set another group now. My most reliable support over the whole time I was in this job, the last job, was Anella Nelson. Anella Nelson, you have been just there for me. We've had lots of fun times, not so fun times. We've gone through some tough things. We've gone through some wonderful things. You built the group in your office in the grants, the Director of Grants Administration. I was so proud of you, and we did lots of good work together. So thank you so much, Anella. I really appreciate everything you've done. And Tracy, is Tracy around? Yeah, there you are. Tracy is now taking over that position. Anella's moved up to be a Vice Chancellor, Associate Vice Chancellor. So good things will continue to come from your office. But they were started a long time ago, right after Mike Manheim left. Shay Williams, where are you, Shay? Shay is responsible for a lot of this, I think. She was the leak. But thank you, as the business manager for both the Office of Research and the School of Graduate Studies. You had double duty, and you performed it with professionalism, talent, expertise in doing all the business and all the books. I could never done that. You did that. And you were always reliable for me to talk to. Fabulous. Thank you so much, Shay. Thank you for everything you've done. And you're still doing for the office. And April Cote. April has been in the graduate school for about a year now. She has been just absolutely outstanding. really outstanding. She does all the stuff with the students. I don't have to do anything, and she just does all the work. I just say, April, let's do this. She said, okay, and it gets done. She is just amazing, and I'm so happy that my successor in that office, Dr. Tatchell, will have this absolutely wonderful person to work with him for the next few years. Thank you so much, April. You're just really good. But her predecessor was Jessica Cote. Is Jessica here? Yeah, yeah. So Jessica, I can't see. Anyway, Jessica really taught April the ropes. And Jessica was someone who used to work in the Office of Research, and she moved to the graduate school, and she's been a really valuable asset to all of us. I can't talk about the Office of Research without mentioning Lauren Vanderkai. Lauren was there when I took over, and she provided so much history and information, and she was doing the books, and she did all meeting minutes, and she kept everything going. She did stuff for the building. You know, she did so many things that I can't even list them all. Thank you so much, Lauren. You were really helpful in that office in getting me trained in how to work it. Laura, I've also get Jessica's predecessor was Laura Makoviak. Laura Makoviak, there, thank you, Laura, for handing on the legacy. She moved down the hall to another office, and that's when Jessica came in. So I've had the great fortune of having 3 wonderful people in that graduate office. Just absolutely outstanding. Is Laura Mims here? Laura Mims was the director, or the coordinator for the IACUC committee, and she did an outstanding job in that position. Also, and I can't forget to talk about Lamar and Brandy Nunnery. Oh my God, I couldn't do anything without those 2. Really and truly, I mean, Lamar is there to call any time of the day or night. You just call, he picks up and says, what's the problem with your computer? And he can fix it right away. And Brandy has taken over some of the operations of the building, so she makes sure that people can get their keys and their access cards, and they can move from room to room, and she sets up everything for them. So a power couple here. We owe a lot to you, Brandy and Lamar. So the next category are some people that have really helped out in the graduate school. My neighbors in the hallway, Mark Platt. Is he here? Mark, I see you. Mark, I couldn't work without Mark. Every time my computer does the least little weird thing, all I have to do is go next door to talk to Mark, and he'll fix it. Almost instantly, he fixes it. And we've had lots of conversations about the medical students, graduate students, and he's been extremely helpful to me all these years. Scott Kennedy was right next door to me, and we had lots of conversations about the MD PhD program. And we worked very closely together on trying to get more students into that program, recruit more students, and he's been extremely helpful. Thank you, Scott. Jane Eggerstadt, Dr. Eggerstadt. I know she's here, yes. Jane has listened to me rant and rave after hours many, many, many times. We talked about school problems, we talked about issues going on with the faculty. She was a sounding board for me and provided so much good advice. I went to her when I was in trouble with faculty issues, student issues. She was so helpful. Thank you so much, Jane. And Kim Carmen, the registrar. She helped keep me on the straight and narrow and all the rules, which I didn't know when I started. And so she helped keeping us all above board there. And I can't talk about every help I got without talking about Carol Peterson. Carol Peterson? She's the person, oh, Carol, yes, Carol. She gave me all the rules about how to handle international students, and I always forgot them. And Kelly is learning them slowly, I'm sure. So every time there'd be some issue, I could call Carol Peterson, and she'd say, well, you should be doing it this way. Okay, we'll do it this way, because I knew it was the right way. Carol knew all the rules. And so thank you so much, Carol. You helped so much with me and doing this work and the international students. So we couldn't have done it without it. And Sheila Power here, Sheila she's now the CFO, I believe. She helped me so much with the financial, the budget, and having review of the indirect cost return allocations every quarter. This was very helpful to me in the Office of Research position because I could then pass that information on to the faculty and help us understand what was going on. Now the last category, but first really in my heart, are the graduate students. I wanted to particularly talk about the Graduate Student Council. One important group is Rob Sherbernack and Deborah Sherbernack. Oh my God. Running the core facility, they never gave me any problems. They would just come to me and say, this is what's going on. They never came ask me for anything really. They just kept the operation running smoothly, doing work for everybody. Deborah's retired now, and I was very happy, I understand. And Rob is still here, and so we have one of the best core facilities, I think, around. And it's because of their hard work and dedication over the years, and I really appreciate the fact. Sometimes he'd come for me asking for money, and I would say, well, I got nothing in my pocket. But we would work it out, and he would work and wheedle people and get it done, so thank you so much, Rob. So the student council currently is Hamangani Diabar, Zach Connolly, Randa S., Patrick Gellings, and Courtney Jameson, one from each department. And you guys are fabulous. They're working really hard now and getting ready for Graduate Search Day, which is early this year, the last Friday of this month. And so these people do amazing work. They get the things organized, they post the announcements, they handle the abstracts, they get the abstract book together, they handle the speaker, they do everything. I just sit there and watch them and say, good job. And you guys are really doing a good job. But the previous council members, which I can't forget, Alex Spinney, who haven't graduated yet, Karnika Singh, Deval Patel, Merve was one on the council, Priya, and Amy, even though she wasn't on the council, has provided a lot of help with the Facebook page of the graduate school. So you see, there's many, many people who go into doing this office. Many, many people. And I haven't listed a lot of them because I was trying to keep the list shorter. But thank you so much, all of you. I really, really do sincerely appreciate everything you've done for me and the support, especially during my illness. Everybody was so kind and so nice and so understanding. I really couldn't be here without you guys. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Dr. Roerig. You have to come back up, though. I would like to ask Vice Chancellor Eggerstedt, where are you, Jane? Jane, come up here for a second. And I would also like Nick to come up for just a second here. And I would like to have I would like Nick to show a picture of Dean Roerig that will hang in perpetuity to commemorate her service as the Dean of the School of Graduate Studies. Perpetuity means this school ain't closing. All right. And I would also like Dr. Eggerstedt to present. Yeah, please. No, she doesn't have to open it. No, she doesn't have to open it. I'll savor that. As you mentioned in your speech, on behalf of the LSU Board of Supervisors and President Alexander, I am honored to announce and provide you a letter as Professor Emeritus, Department of Pharmacology, Toxicology, and Neuroscience, and Dean Emeritus, School of Graduate Studies. Congratulations. thank Lisa and Shay and everyone that helped put this event together today. And I'd like to thank everyone for coming and for being here. And there will be a reception right here in this room immediately following. Sandy, I hope you stay around for a long time. We love you and thank you for all your contributions to our Health Science Center.